This is right. This is a project from the Catalyst School. We first of all say this is an MVP. We have not been funded yet, but this is an attempt, to try and learn some teaching methods, and also get some feedback from you guys, and gives us some time to create content and kind of test it out. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, thanks. So we're providing, let me speak 2 slides or 3 slides about ourselves, please. First, we have the live sessions and the workshops, then our one-on-one group multi-language. Then we also want to do website educational content and related workshops, as you can see in the corners. There's also, I guess, the Catalyst School is a place to leverage the impact of Catalyst as a whole by introducing and improving the contribution of all its different players and roles. So the idea is, not to stop here, but maybe in the future have other courses as well, and provide people with the necessary expertise to succeed here. So far, we have the introduction to Catalyst, proposing Catalyst, how to community advisor, and how to veteran community advisor. We're going to do the proposing in Catalyst today, and yeah.
Since quite over half of the people are quite experts in Catalyst when I look at the Zoom, so it would help if you look at this presentation and think about how will it affect if new people are onboarded and see it, and maybe also give pretty much like feedback if there's something missing or too much information at once. So that would also help, because this is something we are gonna pretty much start to run with and help to onboard the new people who join the Catalyst.
Yeah, so far we have 3 places where we want to teach now at the moment, like for the MVP. It's the after town hall and the Swarm sessions, but also the Eastern Town Hall. Yeah, if you're interested in maybe heard a lot of experience, or I've seen a lot of experienced people here, maybe in the veteran community advisor, it's on September, but I guess I don't have to stay here long.
Yeah, one thing to add, actually, there are 2 more events I don't see here, is that we also run events in Eastern Town Hall, where we do also the similar things. And I'm also testing out the mini proposal workshop and after Town Hall. So there is like Catalyst School and like more in-depth proposal making process in after Town Hall 2. And next Wednesday, there are going to be some changes to the mini proposal process. So when you see somebody asking how to make a proposal, what kind of method I should use, and the Word documents are not enough, maybe guide it to the mini proposal workshop and next Wednesday, where I will try to give an entire overview of the method I have usually been starting, but never like finishing and doing just first chapter. Because people are going to get to the stage where they have to start like explaining the plan, and the mini proposal will help to guide them there.
Yes. Last slide.
I have a question about the last slide. About the last slide. It seems like these are session times and dates, and I'm wondering if they're every day between the date range, or if they're just on the first date. And how do I access the Zoom links for these?
It's actually always on Wednesday and Saturday in between on that week.
Oh, okay.
On the left.
Of course. Okay. Yeah. And where do I access the Zoom links?
Timo, if you could put them in there, or
yeah. I will find the links. Actually, I think it's much better if I send you the Catalyst school link where we have the announcements and also the dates. So whenever new people join, you don't send them the Zoom links, but entire like encompassing community. And yeah, here you would actually also see the Discord. So I'm gonna send you these links. Look. So,
Yes.
one annoying move. Okay.
So yeah, that's about us. So by the end of the breakout room session, you will understand more about Project Catalyst. I mean, many of you won't, since you're quite experienced here, but some of you hopefully, and how to write a good proposal. And also we want to provide a guideline so you can submit your own proposal with this course. Stephen?
I just wanted to say, you guys have made a couple of mentions about, hey, there's some people who've been around a long time who are in here, and maybe, I just want to say I'm doing a slide deck for a presentation I've got to do next weekend. And I'm here hoping that I can get a little bit of a refresher course and point out things that I haven't thought about that I've already started in my slide deck. So, I mean, I'm here to learn, man. And you guys are, I know that I'm going to pick up at least 5 things that I haven't thought of that need to be in my slide deck. So, go for it. Don't. I'm here to learn, man.
All right. Let's move on. So, what is Catalyst? What do you guys think? Aldrich, is this still from the last? Yeah. Do you still raise your hand? No. So anyone want to tell me what Catalyst is, or what Catalyst is to them? Because there's no, definitive answer. And
my understanding is that it's onboarding for projects. It's a way to basically catalyze the growth of the community, projects, community, that kind of thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyone else?
You keep forgetting the voters.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw the comment, but
it's okay, because there's a perspective. I know that the community is really big on proposing, and that's fabulous. There's also the perspective of a voter who's not making a proposal, that wants to stay engaged. How do we get engaged? So I'm seeing that might be a gap in the school itself. Huge project or portion of it, but I think it's really important, because without the engagement, you can have the greatest ideas and miss the votes. So you want to get people like myself involved.
that is good feedback. Yeah, I'll definitely get it back to our people, and we'll discuss it.
Just something on the side. I just realized in our Catalyst School Discord, we don't even actually have the dates and times. So I'm sending what we have on the Swarm channel. So there we have these dates and links, but it's something to note down for us. So we have one specific place to share. And on that slide, what is Catalyst? I would say, to me, it's something what changes almost weekly. There is so many, like this week, the Catalyst is like a place where people are coming and buzzing with ideas, trying to create proposals and finding the right way to do it and looking for stuff. Another week it could be more of how can we improve them, and so it's a quite encompassing experience you're gonna have here. When I started, it was pretty linear. We didn't have the future information, but now when the town halls happen, you get so much information at once, and you're like put in a chaos box. We're like, okay, how do I navigate here? There is so many directions where I could go. So yeah, like the town hall main slide said, it's an experiment. So I would today stick with this. It's an experiment.
Yes, I think that's right. I think it is. Does anyone else have a definition like for himself who wants to share it?
Maybe I can just add the experiment, like what is the experiment? What's the goal of the experiment is basically how do we manage and purpose, or like how do we manage and make the best use of the treasury funds. So that's the experiment. You have this innovation fund. How do we get that out of the treasury into the areas that needs it, that will contribute to the ecosystem. And right now, a lot of it is proposals and getting voters. That's the experiment, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think you're right. Melanie?
I'm thinking Catalyst is the seed that's been planted, and we don't know exactly what it's going to grow into. We don't know the plant. We don't know what it will turn into, what it will produce, but Catalyst is the beginning of something. Felix, I had to use a garden analogy, of course.
I think it's a great analogy. All right. To me, it's a decentralized fund and an experiment. It's many things. It's hard to define. You can go on to. Yes. What is the Catalyst School? The Catalyst School is we had that already.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No session without at least a little bit of trouble. Can we go to the next one?
But it does make sense to
all right.
to talk about it before. Previously, it was like a brief introduction, but here, you kind of went into more in depth before. But when I was looking at the slides, I also felt like this is something we want to bring up more often, like what is Catalyst School and why should you come here? Like we're trying to explain the process, the pipeline, give you all the places you can like extract the information, so you are not left to your own devices, and you can leverage this collaboration meetups and guidelines which are up to date, and also when we go in more depth than some workshops which are like private. We're not private, but open, but you know where to go. So because when we started several months ago, there was nothing like that. We had to we literally go to the Catalyst team itself to find these, and they were mostly as answered, we don't have these kinds of guides. Make it. That's the whole point of this place. So so now we are making this.
Yes. Yeah, it's great. Where does the money come from? So a small percentage of the transaction fees get taxed, so to say, and also like you can't have no transaction fees if no one transacts, because staking profits also transferred, and they also take a transaction fee, and then the Catalyst treasury takes a percentage of that and puts it into the treasury. Melanie, do you have a question, or was that from before? Have your hand up.
Sorry, I forgot
It's
to
all
put my
right.
hand down.
Yeah, and any questions about that? I would think it's straightforward, right? Okay. How is money allocated to the fund? So Catalyst distributes money through funding rounds. Every funding round takes about 3 months, right, Thibaut? Three?
Mhm. So now the idea is 3 months.
Right. Every fund has different challenges as kind of sub-funds. So the proposals should solve different challenges. And yeah, there's also a certain amount fixed to each challenge. So the proposals compete for the fixed amount from the challenge against each other. Funds are also distributed to challenges by important. Yeah, so that's what I meant is different amounts per challenge. And they're mostly defined by IOG so far.
Yes,
Andrew?
Steve?
Yeah.
Is that last statement actually true anymore? I know it was last fund.
Yeah.
Fund 6, can we say that's still true?
I think
Absolutely,
we cannot, because I also noticed that and had like a hint for the presentation slide, like is it because I think over half now is made by community.
More than half, yes.
Yeah, and next fund it's like way over, and on maybe funds 8 we are just control of the distribution.
100% community driven by 8, I think. Yeah.
But there are a few things I would want to say for the new people, and like so far in my experience, we never had a fund where we don't change the timeline. So when we say 3 months, we don't know. There could be week there, week here, and for proposals, definitely next week this submission stage will close, and then if you have a proposal up there or template up there, you will have 4 weeks to edit it, and then starts the community advisor stage, where they are going to assess you. So even if it takes 3 months, your proposal main work is in these first 5 weeks, which is coming up. So yeah, good. And one important thing to like notice, which we also try to do in this community, is after you create your proposal, right now try to create a good draft so you get it in, but maybe already next week try to get it to finalized in the budget, because then you will have time to look what other people are also doing in the same fund, because you're going to compete with the funding amount. But what we actually want in this community is to collaborate and see where you could leverage each other's skills and share, like, oh, we could do this here, and we could like pretty much share the same experience and maybe change the funding amounts and lower in some places, increase in other funds. And so because if you have like 4 people who are having like $50,000 asking, and the fund only asks 100,000, so that's pretty much says that only one of you will get funded. So it helps if you talk to each other and maybe find some way to share insight. How could you make proposals in a way that you all would get funded? That would be like ideal situation. Yeah. Any question? Steven.
Well, forgive me. You said that the bulk of the work is in the first few weeks. And I would agree that within idea scale and the scope of getting your proposal in place, that's true. But engagement within the community, we've seen, is what actually gets funding, not just I've entered it into idea scale and okay, I'm done until they give me my money. So I think there's more to it than just that first few weeks. Would you all agree, or am I missing the mark here?
Yeah. You do agree. In some, my brain is like proposals right now. So, but it does help proposals if they start communicating and networking after the main bulk of the work of getting it all written down in the best possible way.
Yeah, so once the proposals are voted on, they just get listed for each challenge. Top, the best voted proposal, the bottom, the worst voted proposal, and then the money from the challenge gets subtracted by the amount of the proposer's requested budget, and it goes down until there's no money, but like the proposal has more money than the budget that is left. And when all the proposals are taken into consideration, like there could be a gap of proposals. For example, there's still 30,000 left in the fund, but the next proposal asks 40,000. Then it goes to the next proposal after that. And if that asks, let's say 20,000, then it subtracts the 20,000 and 10,000 go down to the rest of the proposals until there's nothing left, or all proposals have been taken into consideration. Yeah, these are the 8 standing challenges: developer ecosystem, dApps integration, decision making upgrades, Grow Africa, Grow Cardano, Catalyst onboarding, metadata, proposer outreach, scale up Cardano's DeFi ecosystem. Are there any questions about how the fund gets subtracted, or how the budget is paid out, or maybe a question about the challenges, guys?
Seems straightforward. Okay, going next.
All right. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, right. The challenge settings. So I think what we should talk about here is the proposal challenges, the challenge teams. Sorry, challenge teams. Theo, what do you say?
To me, the challenge teams are quite unclear thing for now, because with different people I talk about, it's not quite sure what is the workload I have to do. And like some people say that challenge, if you are a challenge team and you only get $2,500, then in my mind you don't do too much. You just every week or maybe bi-weekly come together, look at the proposals, think about, make like an overview or debrief for the Catalyst team, and when proposals get funded, then you collect their information and perhaps standardize the metrics and deliverables, and also give that insight to the Catalyst team. But for some, it's like more workshopy, like going into the teams themselves who created proposals and talking to them and giving insight like continuously. But in my mind, it doesn't make, if that was the goal, then this money, $2,500 for like split between 3 people over 6 months is like, what? So, yeah.
Yes, Mike?
Hey guys, thanks. Fairly new to this all, so this is great. I've read up a lot on all the documentation that was sent out, and that's really good too. But I guess my question, I would have missed the insight sharing phase, and I know a lot of proposals are being submitted. So is it more important? I think the deadline's the 25th, the morning of the 26th. Is it more important to just kind of get it in so you can get feedback and share and review, or maybe spend more time polishing it up and getting it done right? Because there's a lot of good feedback material online to do that, and so spend that time and just kind of get it in last minute. I guess, is there any thoughts there?
I mean, I guess it depends how far you are with your proposal, but I think it's usually better to get it in fast and get the feedback from the people and iterate on that. What do you say, Tibor?
My suggestion would be to work on the problem statement, solution, and title, and get it in as best as you could. So you don't have to. So your own end goal is that I don't have to iterate in that, even though you might have to, but like the best, like these main ones, best possible. And the plan you can do like go a bit the briefing of that, or maybe just say coming up next, because if you have very good problem statement and the solution, then you might get interesting insights from the comments already. Oh, I have you thought about this solution or this solution, and this is related to this problem statement, and they are similar to this proposal. But if you give already a detailed plan too, they are gonna already go and assess your like plan itself. But maybe the overview is at the start a very valuable asset that you haven't maybe thought about.
Yeah, I read the I think it was kind of how the community advisors are judged to kind of evaluate the proposals, and that seemed to help because you get an idea of what they're looking for. So it did seem like the problem statement and title seemed pretty important. So, and the solution can kind of come later. So that's good feedback.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Should we? Yeah. Also, like, I guess there's not much to say, then, right, Tibor?
Yeah. Maybe I was didn't listen. And did we explain the Fund 7 challenge setting? Is you don't get funded here actually, and you only create challenges for the future fund. So whatever ideas or like things you come up with, like, oh, we need more onboarding, more of this schooling stuff, or more NFTs or art related or local communities, like some specific challenges, you post them up, but you don't, if they get funded, they will just be a new challenge for the future proposers. And you yourself don't get funded. And yeah, of course, the challenge team thing is a new role, so I'm not sure about how would that work here. Maybe that's a separate thing. But yeah, that. All
right. Yes. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the roles in Catalyst. We have one here already. The proposer, right? An individual, a group that puts in a proposal to get funded through Catalyst. If you're here, you all know what that is. CA and VCA, Catalyst members were responsible for assessing proposals in 2 steps. Wait a second, Timo, maybe do you guys know any other roles?
Voters.
Voters, yes. Anyone else?
Commenters.
Commenters.
This happens during that proposal refinement before the finalized stage. People coming in making comments, and this really helps to shape proposals.
Yes, I mean, you could argue these are voters, right? Or I guess. I don't know what you think, Eva.
They're not necessarily voters, because commenters are often other proposers as well. So that's kind of a category on itself. I agree with Stephen, though.
It's also people who can't vote because they don't have 500
True.
ADA.
Yeah, right.
So you don't have to have not one ADA in your wallet. You don't even have to have a wallet to be a commenter and to join the community. So this is critical.
This is a good one to write that down. So, yes, there's also the proposal mentor. If you go ahead, Timo. The proposal mentor is not an official role, I guess, like the commenter, right? It's not in the Catalyst, like built into the Catalyst, but you can find them on Discord, on the official Discord server. They help projects formulate proposals, and I guess I'm not sure exactly. I'm not a proposal mentor, but yeah, they help the projects with proposals. Timo, maybe you have.
I would argue that you are proposal mentor. This thing, what you are doing, and with the Catalyst School, we do help to onboard people and explain the process and what should be written there. So if somebody comes to us because they see, oh, okay, we are a Catalyst School, then we can help them. And although I didn't also think too much that I'm proposal mentor, but it makes sense if I help to do many proper processes and like to actually do the workshop, then there are many. Yes, Stephen, you are a proposal mentor, I know.
I just wanted to say that I think the proposal mentor goes before the CA/VCA, because that's the CA/VCA role doesn't really kick in until the proposals are finalized. Yeah. So I mean, I would move that up in the rotation here.
Yeah. And commenter before the proposal mentor.
Right, and then of course, proposer mentor, may hang around, may be in existence well beyond, that particular stage or timeline.
Yeah.
But where they enter into the picture, hopefully, would be very early on. Yeah.
Yeah, I like your idea, because if somebody comes here and now look at these roles, then he would see, okay, my next step is to find somebody who comments my proposal, and then maybe I could find a proposal mentor before I get like, how do you say, analyzed by community advisor, which is an official role.
The only other thing I would say is maybe the word is proposal mentor, because proposer mentor almost feels like they're also a proposer.
It's true. Yes, we also have the voter, of course, a holder with voting power. So you have to have at least 500, unless that has changed. Do you know? I think it's still 500, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything new.
Yeah, 500 aided to vote. You have to have at least 500.
So that's something for the future to know, but these regular meetings we have in these swarm sessions and the Discord, it helps to look at this announcement weekly, because over time we will be having more these kinds of sessions where we want you to come up with your proposals, and we actually have a collaboration with the Catalyst team to get the word out to the general voters and to make your idea public to under other people's eyes, like eyes. Yes.
And we have the referrer, right? Yes, the referrer refers. Oh, sorry, Melanie, we wanted to say something. I don't.
Just where do the challenge teams fit into this? Because that's a new role in Catalyst.
That's true. We did touch on them already, but yeah, I didn't put them in yet. We need to see how they function. I don't know exactly what will happen with them. What exactly will their role be, right? But they will somehow pick the challenge as a fit. And
yeah, go on.
I also did mention the community, even though they don't actually have a role in Catalyst, they have a role by osmosis in knowing about it, promoting it, you know, when somebody talks about the Cardano blockchain and they're excited that they have decentralized governance, you know, there is a community role that kind of wraps all this up as well. So just I don't know where to put it in though.
Everywhere. Last click, all pops up. You don't see that.
Maybe it's a circle around it too, because community comes in at different times during the proposals. You know, this what you have right now is very linear, even though it's circular, but it's very linear that it has a particular time when, you know, the VAs come in, the VCAs come in, voters have their roles, engagement, but the community can come in at any time. So there you go. Somebody's going to come up with a great visual on that one.
Yeah, well, I love your idea. From my also see this, I would put the referrer as a first step actually. So when you see the slide, and then the first question is, how did you find out that you could propose here? Think of that name, and when you write the proposal, write it down, because there is a situation where you know that your friend referred to it. He doesn't maybe even have a wallet, but and it would be nice to write it down. But some people like, I don't need it. But it actually is very nice gesture. I think it would be worth it, and it could also be an onboarding mechanism for the people who don't have wallets and like, hey, dude, I referred you and I got this like one thing funded, and I don't know, you said that Cardano is a great place, but maybe it's time for you to make the wallet and actually get into Catalyst, because you just got funded for referring.
Yes, I've been trying to onboard my friends for a while now. not successful yet, but I keep persistent, and I'll get the reference. Like I'm gonna hopefully refer them. Yeah, but and I'm sure I hope there's gonna be more roles in Catalyst. I think these roles are the ones that directly, or if you could go back 1 second, I think except for the proposal mentor, they all interact directly with Catalyst, right? But yes, there's more, and hopefully many more in the future. Yes, we're coming to the phases in Catalyst. As I said, there is always that it's timely. It's funds every 3 months. There's one fund, and every fund, well, one funding, and every funding has different steps. First is the inside sharing. This is mostly, well, exactly what it says, sharing insight with your peers, right, and with everyone from the Catalyst community, and also, getting insight from them on the other hand, right. Then we have proposal submission, proposal refinement, and proposal finalizing. I think, Theo, actually, if we go to the next slide. Yes. Sorry, I've took that away already. Is there any questions for insight sharing? Is everyone, was it clear, or? All right. Also, Thibaut, right? You feel in to jump in there.
So in the insight sharing stage, to me, like I've been here for 1 year and still I was like, what insight sharing? What is insight sharing? And just last town hall, we had a nice discussion where my light bulb like lit up. Oh, well, what could we do better? And I just realized this space is also to improve the challenge debrief itself, which I didn't know about. Like I kind of was like sitting on idea like a Google top insight sharing. Okay, so I give idea about the problem statement maybe, or the challenge itself, but yeah, later realized it doesn't really it could put up problems you see in the challenges, but there is a lot of overlap with and a very, very gray line with the solutions that you're like a proposal. So sometimes it's not easy to distinguish the thing and could be like interpreted from what is requested. Hopefully for the future fund, it's more clear on the debrief itself. And I would like to see the insight sharing changed into like 2 steps or more scoped into the specific thing of improving the challenge itself. But I think it would like have more value on like understanding the challenges you propose and because when the proposal stage starts, everybody's gonna put their problem statements there anyway. So why do we not waste, but why do we spend time making the problems up at first hand? Maybe it's for the collaborations, but I don't know. To me, it's still a confusing stage, but now I kind of, in my mind, I understood why it's confusing stage. We'll see where the community goes with that. Yes, Stephen, you know what is insight sharing. Let us know.
I gotta be honest with you, I have been just hammering Danny this morning over this whole concept. The insight sharing is actually supposed to be insights about the challenges. It's not about anything other than the challenges. Hey, we just opened up idea scale and we made all of the challenges. Here they are, and here's the challenge brief, and here's all the information about each of them. And hey, what do you all think about this? How could we make this challenge better? What might be a better, I guess making it better is the intent, but what do you have to say about these challenges? What insights, what aha moments, what wild and crazy ideas did you have when you read about this challenge? So that's what insights is all about, the insight sharing phase. Personally, I think it's misguided to think that you can put this at the front of something where we've said, hey, free money, stop by Catalyst and get free money, and think that people aren't going to put in their proposals. The FOMO is just too freaking big. But, okay, fine, we've got to do this at the first stage. What's the messaging around this to where that Tefo is not confused about what it is, who's been here since day one? How do we change the messaging? I mean, if that's the facts, if that's the truth, we got a freaking problem. So forgive me, guys. I'm going to shut up now, but wow. Yeah, insight sharing. That's a big one.
Yeah, I agree on this one.
All right. Proposal submissions. Proposals are submitted and the community can start to give feedback to the proposals. So,
if somebody from Steven's speaker just now got encouraged or empowered to make a proposal about how to improve insight sharing and put it in idea scale, then
that would really help, man.
Yeah, Fund 7 would be nice. I would want to see that thing solved.
And if you put it in there, we could all go there and,
reiterate, give you more feedback, more work to do.
Yeah. And then you could refine it and then finalize it. Right. Ideas are assessed by experts from our community. Assesses rate ideas based on a specific set of criteria to help uncover the ideas with the most potential. Does that make sense to everyone? Good. We do have, wait a minute.
Is anybody actually wants to be a community advisor in this group, or everybody are proposers? Like we could find it out by if everybody who is proposing, raise your hand. So I'm gonna raise my hand. It's so nice co-host can raise your hand now. So Chris, Stephen, Mike, okay, James is raising hand. Okay, Melanie, Stephen, Mike, Martin, and David is going to be a community advisor, or at least thinking about it.
You're assuming the difference. So you have to ask the question. Now you've asked who's going to be a proposer. Everybody put your hands down. And then now you ask the question, who's considering being a community advisor? You caught me off guard the last one. I'm not that fast.
Yeah, okay. So who is looking into the being a community advisor? Yeah, but I kind of answered. Same. Marta, you're going to be a community or mentor. Yes, David.
I am actually not yet. Yes, I was just going to say I'm not at the stage yet where I can say that I'd be a proposal, but I'd be interested in looking at that in the future.
Well, if you're not gonna be being a like proposer, I do suggest to be community advisor, because like you don't have to do all the proposals. You just pick something what interests you, and you will also learn for the future round to be a proposer, and you might just get something out of it too. Increase.
Okay, I'll definitely review the role of community advisor. Thank you for that.
Assessment review. Wait, I'm confused. Assessment review proposals. What is this? Okay, veteran community advisors.
Yes, no. Veteran community advisor is coming after this. This is not a phase that is in Catalyst or shown in Catalyst, but the proposals do get an email with assessments, and then they can go through the assessments and basically what do you do? Mark. I think they mark it for the VCAs to review. Right, Tibor?
Yeah. So basically, when community advisors go through your proposal, they give you like 1 to 5 star, and some people are like, "Hey, I don't understand your proposal, 1 star." And you can go there and report it and say, he didn't give me critical feedback. He just said he doesn't understand it. But what you're expecting from community advisor is to understand like the specifics, like what exactly, how could I improve? Just saying your proposal is good or bad doesn't change anything.
Yes, and based on that, in the next phase, the VCAs review those assessments, and then they can also be flagged and removed. It's also an important side note. And yeah, do you have anything to add, Stephen or Thibaut, or anyone, any questions? Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, the assessment review by the proposers gives them an opportunity to flag assessments that are inappropriate or in some way not correct. And those flagged assessments then are reviewed in the VCA assessment review phase. So that's why that part of the assessment review by the proposers, you're not seeing it in the phases, because it's actually part of, you know, the proposal assessment. Once that's done by the CAs, the community advisors, then it goes to the proposers to give them an opportunity to raise their hand and say, hey, this guy or this gal or this person, this assessment is just, swear words or whatever. Now they can also say, hey, this was a very constructive feedback and has helped me understand how I can make my proposal better. So it's not just a negative thing, it can be a positive thing. So, yeah, okay, so that's all I got.
Great. Marta.
I just wanted to add, and I don't know, I was out for a bit from this group, but I was a community advisor for Fund 5, and I was new actually to the community. I didn't know any better that I was supposed to be part of the community for a longer time before I was a community advisor. But it was I actually entered into it because I had done comments, and then I got really positive feedback on my comments from the proposers, and so it was a really engaging experience. And so then I did the community advisor role, and it was really a wonderful way to learn about all the proposals and to learn about Cardano and Catalyst. So it was a really worthwhile experience. And I just wanted to add that in, because I know you guys have a more structured system now, but just wanted to add that.
Looking forward for
Thank you.
Marta to be a veteran community advisor in this fund.
I'm a proposer now, so.
Yeah, but if you're a proposer, you are still going to be veteran community advisor.
Honest, I thought you couldn't be a veteran community advisor if you.
No, you cannot be community advisor if you're a proposer. But actually, I don't know, maybe Stephen knows it better, but Victor is talking about that if you're a community advisor, you might be able to now.
The last thing I heard about that was when I talked with Victor, and Victor said that there is a plan. They have a paper, they have a document, and they send it to IOG, but IOG hasn't given them the agree to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, there is a direction, and also Chris, KRISS, Chris, is it Bard? I think is his last name.
Yeah.
Chris is working extensively with Victor and a few other folks on how to redesign how all of that works. So we could see something, but we're not going to see it in Fund 6.
Yeah, so basically, just for everyone else, the idea is that community advisors and veteran community advisors can they can assess the proposals, but only the proposals, not in the challenges where they're proposing. This would give more. This would give us more, power from the CAs and VCAs, and also it doesn't, they don't.
You don't have to worry about a conflict of interest.
Right, exactly. Thank you.
Okay,
that was exactly what I was saying.
So the conflict of interest was why they said, okay, if you're a proposer, you can't be a CA, and by extension, you can't be a VCA. But we're looking to see if we can't massage that and say, well, if I don't have a proposal in this challenge over here, or I've got a proposal in only one challenge, why can't I be a CA in all the balance of them? And that way we can retain that talent. The challenge is that a lot of CAs and VCAs finally end up submitting a proposal, and we lose talent. So we want to retain that talent somehow. That's what the idea and the plan is. So anyhow, I'll be quiet. Sorry, guys.
No, I do appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen.
Yes. Just one story, like why you can be VCA and why I think you are going to be VCA in Fund 6 is because I had the same thing in Fund 4. I proposed in Fund 3. I was community advisor, but even if I proposed, I still got an email. Hey, here are some proposers and community advisors you need to review because congratulations, you're a veteran community advisor. So I think there was no conflict of interest, I guess.
How did that go? did that feel okay?
Very odd experience. Like the same way I did like community advising at first, you don't like know are you good enough to give you enough critical experience, and then some proposals are so bad that you're like everything is missing and you don't know like where to start even, but you don't want to spend your entire day like writing up. Hey, and so it's kind of similar with veteran community advisor, where proposer has a like good point why he doesn't like the assessment, but then again when I read assessment, I see like there is some feedback. Maybe like it's not like it has bad score, but it gives like feedback which you can use to improve. Maybe the scoring is not like 4, but it's 2 in some reason. But that's it, like perspective, and I sometimes I'm like, I don't know, is it gonna cancel now the entire assessment because it gave critical feedback but not very bad score? Maybe that's the point, to lower the score. So yeah, you're gonna have personal dilemmas, and you're gonna go outside and think about, did I do the correct thing? So you'll see.
Yes, and then in the end you have the voting process. Voters can vote for or against proposals. Proposals get ranked in the challenge based on votes. We discussed that already, right? Funding is based on rank and remaining money. Yeah, any questions on that? No? Okay, then we go ahead. That's it. Now we have the Catalyst community where, no, wait a minute, yeah, where you can, where can you find the Catalyst community? Timo, if you could share that in the chat, please. And yeah, if you can, you know, just look around, whatever feels best for you. I think we're very present in Discord.
One question.
But also Telegram.
How am I supposed to share it? Like, am I gonna type it there, or?
Oh, well,
I would share the entire.
No, you're right. You're, of course.
Oh, I know how. Yeah, you go on. I just have a plan.
Got it.
I was going to say copy, paste.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. It's beautiful.
Simon.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing for me to say anyway. I mean, just, you know, join the channels, talk to the people, get out there and don't be shy. Take ownership and build whatever you want to build. And, you know, people are generally very nice here and you can talk to everyone. Yes, Ian?
So who's in there making comments on all these proposals that have started getting entered in? I mean, we're what, 3 days into proposal entry. There's a lot of them in there. Who's making comments already?
I will resend. I have done few, not as much as I would like to, but at least some. I have helped people to get proposals in.
I'm taking a break after spending a lot of time in the insight stage, did a lot of comments there. So just getting ready to go back into commenting on proposals myself.
Yeah, and I see action in Discord channels actually too. But I wonder, like perhaps we should focus on people sending the feedback into the idea scale. So because if people come to Discord and chat there and give feedback, then it's kind of, then the Reddit people or Telegram people won't see it. And I don't know, to me, it also shows activity when somebody comments on the proposal saying, oh, there is something behind it. Why would else anybody comment? And if the chatting happens outside of the idea scale, then I don't know, it's not a bad thing, but I think it would have more value if it's in idea scale itself. just my random thought.
It has more value if the chatting about the proposals occurs in IdeaScale. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
thanks.
would second that, since that's where a lot of when the rest of people who are not in Discord or IdeaScale start getting all the media about go and vote, they will all pretty much go from the app to IdeaScale directly when they're reading proposals. So if those comments are not in there, then the rest of the community wouldn't benefit from them.
It may also be helpful to link those conversations in IdeaScale, because my God, I don't know about you guys, but I get lost in cyberspace, right? Where do I go? Where's the link? Somebody said something over there. Where was it? If you could just, the more links you can use to connect things on more platforms, the easier it is for non-techie people and with tired brains.
I was going to say that Discord and Telegram and these other places that you might go and have these cursory discussions about things are lovely so that and then you can take whatever you distill that down and you go back to IdeaScale and put it in as a cogent comment, or it gets incorporated into the proposal from a proposer's side of things. If somebody engaged with them on Discord or Telegram or wherever, then they should go back into their proposal and make sure that that information or that insight that they now have about it is actually part of the proposal while they can enter that information.
Yeah, that also I think it adds value if the proposer itself puts a comment about the distilled information and source to the Discord server or Telegram group or Reddit or wherever this started off. Then you're like connecting pieces.
If you just looked at IdeaScale by itself and you didn't recognize that there was all this other input from other sources, and you saw, oh, this proposal has 2 comments, you have to, it's almost like writing an essay and giving your source information. It builds the strength of your proposal and the fact that you've collaborated with many more people. It will look better. So it is a point maybe that gets missed sometimes.
Indeed. Do I hop over this last slide now?
Yeah. I mean, we're at the end. When there's not much sense in talking about Swarm, right? Since you're all here. You know the Discord. Yeah, many faces I know already from Swarm, right? Is anyone new here, actually?
I am.
James?
I'm new to the Catalyst group.
Hey, Chris, any questions you have about the Swarm or maybe in general?
I'm on a mobile device, so it's a little hard to navigate some of this, but I just took a screenshot of the links you posted there at the end of the slide, and I'm going to go through those later on and immerse myself in what I can find.
I will add to the slide deck also, just because. And learning outcomes. Do you feel like you know more about Project Catalyst?
Yeah, for sure.
Does it kind of help you to like guide you how to make a proposal?
It did. Yeah, I needed this. I've been talking to Ron a little bit. And so I've been urged by a few folks to submit a proposal, put a proposal together and submit one. So I'm on that path now. I've already been party to building a few things on Cardano already. And so I'm looking to take the next step.
Good. Then we have a guideline to submit. I wouldn't say we have a guideline, but I can't give you a guideline. But
Did you talk about anything about like the good or bad about when you submit your proposal within that 2-week period? Like if you wait until like the last day of the 2-week period, is that a bad thing? Is it put you at a disadvantage, or is it a good thing? Does anybody have any ideas about that?
So I did mention before the fact that I see value in making a good problem statement and a solution for the first week, and not to focus on give a very brief introduction for the plan. So you and distill that information for the community to digest for like 3 or 4 days. So they could also provide their idea and plan and what they think about it before you put more information out there. Then, because else if you put all the information at once, then they are going to be more specific and detailed on, and might not, there might not come out of the box like other solutions where you could pivot into.
Okay, thank you.
And Steven wants to give even better feedback.
Not better, different. So I would say that it kind of depends on where you are in the spectrum as a proposer. I mean, are you really, really well prepared and you have everything nailed down and you've really done your research and you know what a proposal needs to look like, you know what it takes to engage with the community? If not, then maybe the sooner you get a proposal in and start engaging with folks and getting that feedback to where you start to form some relationships with those people. Maybe the sooner you're in, the better prepared you are to collaborate and to attract people to work with you to accomplish the goal that you have in mind. But if you're a well-oiled machine, you know, maybe you've dealt with VC companies in the past, or you've started a business and you really know what you need to do, you can wait till the last second, drop it in, and wow, zam, everybody goes, oh my God, look at this thing. I got to get in on this. Let's vote for it. But, so anyway, my advice is the sooner the better, unless you really know what the heck you're doing.
Okay, thanks. That helps.
So right now I cracked up and I'm not sharing the screen. Never mind.
Yeah,
Sorry. I just have a suggestion, because we're talking about a school, and that's my area of expertise. And if you think about going into university, I'm interested in calculus. I have no idea what it is. You take an intro course. So, like you have an outline of something and things go deeper. Oh, I know a little bit already. I've been around the block a few times. I can take the 100 level course, the 200 level course, the 400, etc. Just like Steven's talking about. And then that'll help us determine where we belong, where we fit in. So I'm not sure if you're ready or want to flesh out this school, but it would be nice to have the rooms, but also rooms you can go to when this is specifically what you want to do. So if you think about a university structure, how can we turn this school into that without, putting ourselves in a box as well?
So you're talking about the school specifically. Well, we have worked on the school for the last, I think, 3 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, I think, we have asked ourselves the question over and over again, like where do we want to go and what do we want to do with that? And actually, I think I might have even over questioned that. And that's why we're here to, get some feedback on our first MVP. Where the idea is, at first we should or a pain point we saw in Catalyst was the CAs, some of the CAs maybe not giving a perfect review. We thought that there was value in educating them, and also having some of the proposals were not so well written either, right? And so we want to come in and help those proposers who might have a good idea, but they don't know how it works. Yeah, so these are the two I think we started with thinking about in the first place. And so we said we're going to make an MVP out of that and see what is the feedback from you guys, and what can we do better. And actually in the last month or so, we also have Stephen doing, or you know, I'm not sure on the status of that, but Stephen wants to make a course on documentation, and documentation is really needed, right, in our space. Knowledge management and things like that. I hope that is what I would like to do. You know, have a school for all the things surrounding Catalyst.
Well, you started
project management maybe, or whatever is needed. Web design. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry for interrupting, but you started with a problem that you solved in the form of a course. And what's happened, what I'm seeing is happening is it's like a magnet, and you're attracting others like, oh, I've got an issue to deal with. We need a course. We need another course. And in order to find those courses, you need to go to either a directory or some sort of a school. And once you become more and more bigger, you know, like this school can go to a university as a course, you know. There is no ending this. There is no box that can contain this when you start with an idea and work together to solve it.
I hope so.
Well done. Well done for bringing it up and bringing it to this point. Yeah.
I shared in, oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I agree with it's well done, the school.
Thank you. I think Victor is doing it even better. He really knows what he's talking about.
He's director. He has to know.
Right.
So I cracked up a new link to the chat, the Miro link. So this is a very brief introduction on the next Wednesday town hall. What I'm going to talk about is the mini proposal process. If you have a big proposal, don't discourage. This mini proposal works actually for all kinds of proposals. What it is it's basically a sequence of questions. What problems do you see? And like brainstorming, improving the problem statement, and getting out like a final stage. And it has like different chapters of like solving, like brainstorming solutions, like thinking of a title, writing down relevant experience and the roles your team has, checklist expectations. So what kind of proposal you're making. So is it like a mini proposal, what requirements it has? Is it a business idea? Is it So this guide kind of misses one crucial thing, which is the facilitation information. Like, what do I mean with this question? And so far with the workshop, I have been like talking through this and co-creating that thing. What it would, if the question themselves help you to, even if you come up your own solution, what it might mean, it is quite valuable, and would be amazing if you use it, and I would see how it was used, and maybe I would see something I didn't see myself. But yeah, and in Wednesday I will give more depth, and so there are consists of several steps until down to the user flow, product and budget. Oh my god, I keep moving stuff around, and finally you end with summarizing the budget, and you get your proposal budget down, and And yeah, I know this method has helped me. I made it in Fund 5 for my Discord improvement proposals, and both proposals what I created got over 4 stars rating, and both got funded. So maybe it works. Maybe I just got lucky.
Melanie.
Yeah, I think last time or before pre-mini proposal workshop, you had a place for proposers to go to make suggestions as a problem to solve for this mini proposal. And I think that it'd be helpful if you had a list of those ahead of time before unless you're starting with one that you're already working on. But if you have a list and it's sort of like, oh my God, I'm really interested in this, and maybe you can have a consensus on which project or which problem to solve through your mini. Because if you don't have some sort of guidance, you're going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what problem you're going to do. But this mini workshop, I believe the purpose of it is to solve something with your method. So you want to have that something to solve figured out before you come in. Am I right?
Kinda, but if I will link to the YouTube sessions we also have, so people also come in without knowing what they know, but they have like some kind of idea. Well, I would like to propose this solution, and I think it helps with this problem. And then we are going to like go to the root cause of analyzing it and realize that, oh, this is not the problem statement at all what works. But if as a group we could help to guide to create this problem statement. However, next week I am trying to pivot a bit and change the settings so that we could go through entire process and not focus too much on creating a proposal itself. So because for last month or so, I had that experience, and a lot of process has been like accumulated. But I feel like we are reaching into the stage where people also want to know what next. How do I use not just the start of the workshop, which is usually we always start again and again, but the starting is the hardest part. And if you have like 1 hour session, then you only get to create one problem statement. Maybe you reach to the solution, but what happens after next, we never get to that part unless we do the sessions where we take somebody else's idea. But having this experience, I also realized the way I created this modular experience is not yet to that level. So we could realize what the different team thought about the problem statement and the brainstorming to encapsulate it in a quick way to move it to the next team. So it needs more steps in between. And so, yeah, but it is an interesting experience I would want to push in future.
So the benefit I see in starting over with a problem is you're going to get new people to this group, right? And the other benefit is if you're doing it from the beginning, you've got people that are practicing this process and they've gone through it more than once. If your goal is to come up with something at the end, that's a whole different story. But if you're trying to understand the process and how does this work for people, take people through it and then get your feedback from that. So are you wanting to get content out of this, or are you wanting to improve the process of this mini proposal method that you're using? So there's 2 different things, and you have to decide, you'll get both. You may end up with some fabulous solutions, but you also have to consider, how can I make this method better, right? And how is it working for many different learners, many different people coming in from all over the place? So yeah, what is your goal? Content or
so far
method?
it was content, but this upcoming week, I want to just go through tire this process. So I have something on YouTube, but shows the entire plan, even if it's not detailed enough. Somebody who goes through this 1 hour session with like 1.5 speed, he will get the gist and of the meaning behind all of the questions. He won't see the practice of it, but yeah. So what you explained, Melanie, it was something I was doing so far. I am every time we have a session, I have like this Miro board. I can share this. It's also a public information where I analyze myself and self-assessed how should I change the process and how should I change wording. And there are different things I have been testing, like how to facilitate these kinds of workshops itself. So it is a lot about improving the video itself, about me facilitating the meeting, but it also includes a lot of purple that sticky notes are like process improvements on various stages. But yeah, this is a funny thing is there are so many of them now, of so many feedback, and I haven't gotten like to improve and incorporate all of that to these sessions, like these processes. So yeah.
Sounds like you could use some help.
But over time, step by step, going there and thinking also about making a proposal about this. So if voters are interested, maybe with funding it, I could bootstrap some more of content making, and I don't know, we'll see. Marta has a question.
I just thought it's more of a comment, Thibaut. I really admire your process that you've been going through on the Miro board. But I wanted to say that also that I don't know if you're already thinking about this, but it would be so wonderful at the end of when you get done with refining these processes, if it would result in some kind of a interactive form, so people could use the form and input their information, so they're to automate without having to go in a group process and kind of come out with an answer. I don't know if that's of interest at all, but I mean, I would like, sometimes I don't have the time to sit through the whole process, but I would love to just try the process through a form as well, just to see what the outcome was of that. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. So for now, for the sake of speed and like the nature of it, so it's the beginning. It's only on Miro board, so I understand it's not for everybody, but there are talks with, especially with George, just last week, several times we talked about doing a website tool. So there are the questions, like you open up a website, it asks a question, you answer it, and later it repeats to this thing, and now improve this, and it automatically changes the stuff for, like, creates the wording for you and makes a decision tree, so you don't have to like drag around. And but that's a bit more futuristic thing. So right now I'm focusing on the proof of concept and making sure the modules are working together in a workshop, and so that next step would be to have the guidance on the Miro board itself. So when somebody who doesn't see the facilitation can open it up and kind of get it and make proposal out of that. And yeah, then the third step will be to make it so that, and improve the questions in a way that you can start the problem statement, but somebody else will do the solution, and somebody third will make the roles, and somebody fourth makes the budget, and somebody fifth looks the proposal and segments it, categorizes it, and finds the market. So it would be like the idea is in front, and people are just improving the idea itself and making proposal, and whoever. Yeah, then the question is who's going to implement it, but whoever. I mean, that's a new problem. Who cares? If the proposal is good, let the implementers decide who is going to implement. So yeah, there are many steps to go about it, and your advice is heard and thought about.
So it'll be really well researched proposal then, really well research because of these Miro board processes that you've been engaging in. It's almost like a laboratory, right? It's a laboratory.
Yeah, it goes really deep, really into detail, right, Thibaut?
Yeah, well, it does miss few things. For example, it doesn't have roadmap, and I have gotten several feedback outside even Cardano and several from the workshop of itself, which I could incorporate into more into this process. So there are always more details we could add there. I also wanted to say something for the Marta, but I forgot. I guess I'm getting old.
Just wanted to ask, is there any more feedback for us for this presentation or for the school? Also, sorry, Marta, did you want to say something else to Thibaut's point?
No, I was just lowering my hand. I always forget to lower. They should have an automatic lower hand after
Yeah,
you
right.
like speak.
Me too, me too. All right, then.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everybody who is watching later. Okay, I don't know what I
Thank you.
wanted to-
Yeah, thank you for watching.
How can we get involved? How can we, I see the Discord channel. Is that the only kind of connection to you guys at the moment?
The Discord channel is I think the best choice for now, but we also have Twitter. And
Sorry?
we also have Twitter, and I think there is also a Telegram. No, the Telegram channel is not here.